Hello, everyone. A very good evening. Thank you for joining the session. My name is Muskan Jain, and today I and my colleague Navneet are here to guide you and to help you better strategize the next two attempts of SNAP. So, before beginning the session, I would like to briefly introduce myself. I have done my graduation in a Bachelor's of Business Administration in the year 2019. After that, I have a work experience of 1.5 years in the sales and marketing domain. So currently, I am a first year student at SIDTM pursuing the systems and finance specialization. Navneet, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Navneet Pagmare. I hail from Nagpur city. I am a fresher and I am currently doing my MBA in Symbiosis Institute of Digital and Telecom Management from Marketing and Finance Specialization. Now we will be sharing our screen. The screen is visible?
Yes, Navneet, it is visible.
Okay.
So agenda for today's session is to, share some tips and tricks so that you can better strategize the next two attempt. As we all know that there have been some evident changes in the, first attempt of SNAP. So there are some mistakes that we need to avoid in order to, maximize our score in the next two attempts. Navneet, can we move to the next slide?
So as we all know, the first attempt of SNAP is over, which was held on 10th of December. The second slot and third slot of the SNAP attempt is 18th December and 23rd December. So those who have applied for all three slots, you have two more attempts left. So the 18th December is day after tomorrow, and you would be having another chance to give your best. And the result of the SNAP exam would be on 10th of January. So give your best and stop practicing mock as of now. You can have one or two mocks today, but don't give any mocks tomorrow. Keep yourself calm and be in a cool and good mind space.
So many of you here might have attempted the first attempt of SNAP, and you might have noticed that there is a change in pattern in every section. So we'll be discussing the changes section by section. Coming to the very first section, which is the verbal ability section. Now, this section is dominated generally by grammar and vocabulary questions. So earlier SNAP used to give reading comprehensions also. Talking about last year when I gave SNAP, so there were no RCs. So people were expecting that no RCs would appear. But a very surprising thing appeared in SNAP this time, which are poems. So the thing with poems is that it is these are short, but it is difficult to understand them. So make sure that you read each and every line of the poem and you don't read it in one go. So because in that case, you won't be able to understand the meaning of the poem. Coming to the second section, which is the LR section. Now, this section has two subsets, which are called verbal reasoning and the non-verbal reasoning. So this year we saw some difficult questions in the non-verbal reasoning section, like questions on calendars, directions, then family tree arrangements. And in the verbal reasoning part, we saw a very unique, unique type of questions which we have never basically witnessed in SNAP, which is related to decision making. So moving further in the session, we'll be taking up some questions from all the sections, which will give you insights in order how to approach these questions. It will be easier for you. Now coming to the last section, which is the most dreaded section by the aspirants like me who come from a commerce background. So cons used to be a section which would consume a lot of time of mine. So what I used to do in cons was that I used option elimination in order to save time. But SNAP made the aspirants' life difficult this time because they came up with NOTA questions. So what happens with the NOTA questions? So basically, NOTA questions are the questions in which you get an option which is called none of the above. So when you solve a question and you arrive at the right answer, but you don't see that question, you don't see that answer in the options, so you get in a panic state that have I calculated the answer correctly? Then you do the recalculations, you waste a lot of time. So that is how the paper is trying to trick you. So make sure that you're confident about the option and do not redo it, because anyway, SNAP is a time-based exam, so you do not have time to waste. Yeah. So now that only 2 attempts are left for SNAP, I would advise that currently, since the second attempt is just one day after, do not give any mocks. Just try to revise the pattern and be confident. Also, do not go with any preconceived notions. Do not carry the baggage of first attempt into the second attempt. So go with an open mind and just be confident, be calm and composed.
So now we will be solving some SNAPs question for of SNAP 2022. Starting with the first section, verbal ability. As you all know, verbal ability section consists of 50 questions. So your target should be 15 questions, 15 minutes. You should not waste more than 30 seconds in any of these verbal ability questions. So we will solve some of the verbal ability questions right now. So question number 1 is, this is a question of course of action. So here the statement says a large number of people in ward X of the city are diagnosed to be suffering from a fatal malaria type. So here there is a ward in X in the city, and it has been diagnosed that it is a disease called malaria. So there are two courses in this action. First, the city municipal authority should take immediate step to carry out extensive fumigation in the ward X. Second, the people in the area should be advised to take steps to avoid mosquito bites. So here these both course of actions are simultaneous, as the first is that you should take steps to stop and control and stop the spreading of the malaria. Second is that you should avoid advice to avoid the mosquito bites. So people are advised to stay inside home and use the mosquito repellents to stay safe from the mosquito. So here their options, the most suitable option would be both, either one, both 1 and 2 are followed. The second question is, in the following questions, choose one word which best expresses the meaning of the given word. So this is basically a synonym. So gravity is the word. So it basically means that talkativeness. The meaning of this is talkativeness. If you have a good vocabulary, or if you have read the normal Louis word parmedizi, you would be known the meaning of this word. So the first option is credulity, which basically means to the tendency to believe that something is real or true. B is senility. It is a condition, the condition of being senile. Senile means weakness. So this option would also be eliminated. Loquaciousness. It basically means that someone who talks more, or he is continuously talking. So this could be a possible answer. The D1 is speciousness. It means that it is misleading, that something is true but it is actually in real is false. So the answer for this question would be C. Coming to the next one, Muskan.
Yeah. So so poems are very critical this time. So now the thing with poems is that you don't need to understand the entire meaning of the poem in order to solve the question. You can also do it by catching some keywords and deriving inferences from them. So let's look at the poem one by one, so that we can solve it in a slow manner, and we can arrive at the answer without understanding the entire meaning. So yeah. So first sentence says, I sought a soul in the sea and found a coral there. Now, the words sought and found basically reflect that we are searching for something. So from these two sentences, even if you don't understand what soul and coral mean here, you can generally derive that here we are searching something. Further, it says that beneath the foam for me, an ocean was all laid bare. So beneath the foam for me, that means there's a surface, and below that there are a lot of things to explore. So here it says ocean. So in general sense also we refer like ocean of emotions, right? So basically we can derive that there's a surface, and below that there's a lot to explore. So two inferences we have derived till now. First is that we are searching for something, and second is that there's a lot to explore beneath the surface. Further, it says, into my heart's night, along a narrow way, I groped and lo, the light, an infinite land of day. So in the first line, it says into my heart's night. So we can understand from night that there's darkness, right? So it can be inferred that there is darkness in heart. Then it says that along a narrow way, that means that there's a narrow path. I groped and lo the light, an infinite land of day. So basically, we can say that there's darkness in heart, and through a narrow path, we found a ray of light. So till now, we have inferred three things from the poems. One is that we are searching for something. Second is that there's a lot to explore beneath the surface. Third one is that there's darkness in heart, and there's a ray of light. Now, I understand that all of you might not be able to infer it at the time of the exam because there are a lot of things that are going on in our mind. So the alternate approach to poems can be that we can directly come to the options and we can eliminate them basically. So the question is, which of the following would best capture the essence of the poem? Now let's look at the option A. Option A says, what lies outside is always deceptive. So here, there's nothing much mentioned about outside. The only reference when outside is used is when it is defining beneath the surface. So that is when outside is used to refer that. Now, deceptive is a negative word, but we can see that there is no negative connotations used over here. So this option gets eliminated. Coming to the option B, pursue the narrow path and avoid the broad ways. Now, there's nothing as such mentioned about broadways. And talking about narrow path, it is mentioned in a specific manner which is related to heart and not in a general sense. So again, this option is also eliminated. Coming to option C, external search is futile. Explore the inner space for answers. Now, this seems like something that we have already inferred from the poem. So we can, conclude that this might be the right answer, but do not mark it until we have exhausted all the options. Option D says heart's pathways are broad and clear to find the destination. Now, this is completely opposite. Like it says that the heart's pathways are narrow and not broad. So this option is right away eliminated. Coming to the last option, light offers sight and insight. Now, this is a factor. So this can't really be the essence of the poem, right? So we can infer that option C is the correct answer. Navneet, can
Coming
you?
to the most
Yeah.
coming to the most important section, which is the logical reasoning. This section consists of 25 questions. So I would prefer you to complete this section in 30 minutes. Do not waste time on the difficult questions and do not take time to think more than 1 minute. So we would be solving some questions of this section. In this paper pattern, you have seen that in logical reasoning, a subset which is called as decision making has been appeared, and we would like to solve some questions related to decision making. So question number one, Mark is working with a realtor to find a location for the toy store he plans to open in his town. He is looking for a place that is either in or not too far from the center of the town and one that would attract the right kind of foot traffic. Which of the following action would Mark realtor call to his attention? So here is Mark, and he has a broker. He hired a broker to find a location for a toy store he wants to open in his town. So he's looking for a place which is neither too far or neither too close from the center of the town, and that would attract the right kind of traffic. So for a toy shop owner, a right kind of traffic is that there would be a children's who loves toys. The age segment for this would be from 2 to 10 years. So let us have a look on the options. Option A says that a storefront in a high-rise building near the train station in which the center of the town whose occupants are mainly young, childless professional who use the train to communicate to their office each day. This option gets directly. This option is not correct because there is no because the childless professional who used to communicate to their offices. There is no children's in this option. A little shop 3 blocks away from the town main street located across the street from an elementary school and next door to an ice cream store. This would be a possible answer. A standalone storefront on a quiet residential street 10 blocks away from the town center. This is too far away from the town center, so this is also eliminated. a storefront in a small strip mall located on the outskirts of town that is also occupied by a pharmacy and a dry cleaner. Last option would also be eliminated because there is no children's in this option too, and he would not target any of this. So the answer B would be the right answer because there is an elementary school nearby, and his if he makes his toy store near it, there is an ice cream store. The parents would come with their kids to buy an ice cream, and they would definitely have visit his shop. So this would be the best to open a toy store in that area.
Yeah. So coming to the question 2, question says that the school principal has received complaints from parents about bullying in the schoolyard during recess. He wants to investigate and end the situation as soon as possible. So he has asked the recess aides to watch closely. Which situation would the recess aides report to the principal? So basically, the question says that there have been instances of bullying in school, and the same has been complained to the principal. Now, principal wants the recess aides to investigate into the matter and report such situations. So here, 4 situations are listed. We have to report the most appropriate one. So let's look at the options. Option A. A girl is sitting glumly on a bench, reading a book and not interacting with her peers. Now, it is a very general situation where a girl is just reading a book, so we cannot infer that any kind of bullying is happening over there. So option A is eliminated. Coming to option B, 4 girls are surrounding another girl and seem to have possession of her backpack. Now, this situation could indicate that there is some kind of bullying going on, so we can keep this option on hold. Let's look at option C. 2 boys are playing a one-on-one game of basketball and are arguing over the last basket scored. Now, here it's just a game scenario where they're arguing over the score, so we cannot infer that any kind of bullying is going on. So this option is eliminated. Option D, 3 boys are huddled over a handheld video game, which isn't supposed to be on school grounds. So here also no instance of bullying. So this option also gets eliminated. The most appropriate option is option B. Hence, that is the answer.
Coming to the next question. Question number 3. Rita, an accomplished pastry chef who is well known for her artistic and exquisite wedding cakes, opened a bakery 1 year ago and is surprised that business has been so slow. She hired a consultant to conduct a market research and has reported that the local population doesn't think of her shop as one they would visit on daily basis, but rather a place they did visit if there were celebrating a special occasion. Which of the following strategies would Rita employ to increase her daily business? So the local population staying there believes that they should not visit Rita Bakery because her bakery is only for some special occasion. So for growing her business, what did Rita can do? So there is option 1 says that making coupons available that entitle the coupon holder to receive a 25% discount on wedding, anniversary, or birthday cakes. So giving 25% discount on wedding, anniversary, and birthday cakes, she would only attract someone who is having his wedding, anniversary, or birthday, but she didn't can but she cannot attract the local crowd who comes for everyday grab of snacks. B says that exhibiting at the next bridal expo and having pieces of one of her wedding cakes available for tasting. Exhibition is not an is will be eliminated because she is again doing the special thing which is a bridal expo, so it would also not appeal to the local public. The third option says that placing a series of ad in the local newspaper that advertise the wide array of bread. This could be the right option because she is doing her branding and she is saying in the advertisement that she has the variety of bread which all people can buy and the locals can get into. D option says that moving the bakery to the other side of the town, starting from the scratch because starting from the scratch because from if she moves to other and she would have to start from zero. So C would be the best answer suitable for this question. So definitely C is the answer. coming to the quantitative ability part. Musta? Hello.
Navneet, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible, Musta.
Yeah, okay. So I'll be discussing three questions of cons. So let's look at them one by one. The first question is on probability. The question says that if A and B are two mutually exclusive events and probability of A is 1 by 4, probability of B is 1 by 6, find the complement of P A union B. Now, the formula of PA union B, most of you might be knowing, is probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. Now, why do we subtract the intersection? That is because while calculating the probabilities of A and B, we might have considered some factors which are common to both of them. So to arrive at A union B, we want them to be mutually exclusive, right? But here, if you have read the question carefully, it says that A and B are already mutually exclusive. So now the formula for P A union B becomes probability of A plus probability of B, which is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. So if you calculate it, the answer would be 5 by 12. Now, is that the correct answer? Again, no, that is not the answer. So while solving, read the question carefully. It says that complement of P A union B. So we would need to subtract 5 by 12 from 1. So the answer would be 7 by 12. Now that is also not given as one of the options. That means the answer is none of these. Moving ahead on the second question. Second question is that the remainder obtained when A raised to the power 97 is divided by 97 is. So we all have started during our school days also. So when two bases are same and when they are multiplied, the powers get added. So we can break down 2 raised to the power 97 into two parts. So we can break it down as 2 raised to the power 1 into 2 raised to the power 96. Now let's keep aside the two part for a second and let's look at the part of 2 raised to the power 96. Now, how to solve this part? So there's a shortcut that I can tell you by which you can arrive at the answer in just 10 seconds. So the formula is A raised to the power P minus 1 when divided by P gives out the remainder 1. Now, A is the integer and P is any prime number. So here our A is 2 and P is 97. So when 2 is raised to the power 97 minus 1 is divided by 97, the remainder will be 1. So now 2 raised to the power 96 is 1. When we multiply that with our remaining 2, the answer will come out to be 2. Now again, that thing is not mentioned over here. So the answer is none of these. Guys, remember it's important to use formula, use shortcuts in these exams because it is a speed-based exam. So ensure that before the exam you revise all your shortcuts. Moving ahead to the next question. So this is a question on permutation and combinations. How many words, each of 2 vowels and 3 consonants, can be formed from the letters of the word universal? Okay. So universal word contains 9 letters. So let's count how many vowels are there. So U, I, E, A. 4 vowels are there. That means automatically 5 consonants are there, right? Now we need to choose 2 vowels. So total we have 4 vowels. Out of that we have to select 2 vowels. So the formula for that would be 4C2. Now coming to the consonants, total consonants are 5. We have to select 3 consonants. So it will be 5C3. Now we'll be multiplying this 4C2 into 5C3. Now is that the entire answer? Again, no. While solving this question, I used to forget this part and most of the aspirants do that. So make sure that you always consider this part. So we also have to consider that these vowels and consonants will be arranged among themselves also. So for that, we'll be multiplying it with 2 factorial for the vowels and 3 factorial for the consonants. So it goes like 4C2 into 5C3 into 2 factorial into 3 factorial. So if you calculate this, your answer will be 720. Again, it is not mentioned in the options. So we'll have to tick mark none of these options. So these were the questions on NOTA.
As my friend Muskan said, that Snap is a time-based exam, and QA section is what which is the the lengthiest one. I will suggest you that you should not waste one more than 1 minute time on any of the question, and keep your formula sheet ready. Revise your formula every day in the morning.
Yeah,
So
so Navneet, I would like to ask you, since you are a fresher, like what are the parameters that you considered while joining SIDTM over other colleges? Navneet, are you there? Navneet, can you hear me? So this is why technology also glitches, but digital managers don't. So I would like to share my experience, like as a lateral, why I joined SIDTM. So basically, I had two factors, like two parameters in mind while joining SIDTM. First is that I wanted to, do something in the digital domain. Now, why the reason behind this is simply because the world is moving towards a digital era. Specifically after the pandemic, there has been the need for digital transformation has increased a lot. So whether you take any industry, whether the IT industry or the education in industry, agriculture, logistics, or the BFSI industry, all of these industries have digitized their operations. So when I was working, so I've during my work experience, I was involved in a education sector. So as we all know that before the pandemic, all the coaching institutes, they were offering their coachings offline, but the pandemic forced them to move their working model entirely online and digitize it. So you can see, even after the economy has opened up, everything is functioning full offline. Even then, the institutes are offering coaching online or offering it in a hybrid model. So talking about other industry like BFSI, so India right now is ruling the global digital economy. So India has recorded like around 70 billion digital payments, which is the highest in the world. So that is the power of digitization. So we are reading all these subjects, like we are having a subject like IoT. So we are studying subjects like RPA. So artificial intelligence, machine learning, all this we are learning. So if I talk about another sector, which is a logistics sector. So, tracking the vehicles by tracking the vehicles, the shippers have been able to, reduce the turnaround time by 50 to 70%. So all these use cases we are learning during our MBA only. That's why we have an upper hand. So I thought that it is very essential for all the future managers to know the digital aspects of the technologies. The second aspect for parameter for joining SIDTM was that I wanted to do an MBA in a niche domain. So now let's be honest, everyone is doing a general MBA today or have done it. So when I was working, I had a lot of people who were postgraduates. Even my manager, she was from a very reputed B school. She also suggested that if you have a specialized knowledge in a particular domain, then it would give you an upper hand, and the demand for it in market is more. So these were the two parameters which helped me to um, make my decision for SIDTM. Navneet, I can't hear you. I think you're on mute. Navneet, are you able to hear me? Uh, I think there's a technical glitch. Okay, I think a lot of people are asking questions in the chat box. I think so. There's some problem with the Navneet's network, so I'll be sharing my screen and going ahead. Just give me a second. Okay, so I think Apurva has asked one question in the chat box. So the question is, are the questions related to poems difficult? Apurva, they're not really difficult, but it requires a lot of focus because there are a lot of new words in poems. So you need to understand the gist of the poem well. So if you do that, you'll be able to solve the questions. Also, I told you one alternative approach that you can apply. That is, you can directly look at the options and you can read one line at a time and infer whatever you're able to from the words, from the keywords, and then you can, eliminate the options and arrive at the right answer. There are some more questions.
Muskan, am I audible?
Yes, Navneet, you're audible.
Okay. Should I share my screen again?
Yeah, sure, you can. So till Navneet shares his screen, I'll be taking up one or two more questions. So as I was saying, Sakshi has asked one question: how can we make our own strategy for the exam? So, Sakshi, to make a strategy, you have to basically look at your strengths and weaknesses. So, for example, I was weak in the con section, so I took that section in the last. So, first I solved the English section because I thought that it requires a very less time. You either know the answer or you don't. So, I basically finished the section in less than 10 minutes, and then I gave 20 minutes to LR and the rest of the half an hour for cons. So completely depends on your strengths and weaknesses. Navneet, are we good to go?
Uh, Hello, Muskan. Can you share the screen?
Yeah, sure. I can share the screen. Uh, is my screen visible, Navneet?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, so basically, Navneet, when you got disconnected, I was asking like, what were the parameters on which you chose SIDTM, like being a fresher? You might
Oh,
have got some, you might be thinking whether to go for a job or, to do an MBA and in which sector. So what was your, parameters for making this decision?
so during my undergraduation, I was firstly I was doing my undergraduation in BCom in computer application. It was a degree which was a perfect blend of management, commerce, and technology. So in my final year, I realized that I was lacking some business acumen, some management skills, and soft skills. So in my final year, I decided that I would go for a 1 year diploma in mass communication and journalism to develop my soft skills. But I was still lacking some management skills. So there was two options in front of me, either do an MCA or an MBA. MCA was purely technical, and MCA is a 3 year master's course. So I don't wanted to invest my 3 years in a purely technical course, because I am not a person who would like to sit and code for 6 to 7 hours. I like to be on screen. I would love to talk to person one on one. I would like a client facing job. So I decided to go for an MBA, and I got the best choice because SIDTM offers a perfect blend of technology and management. So it basically suited my undergraduate stream. So that was the best decision I have ever made. So that was my story, Muskan.
Yeah, so I was constantly smiling while you were telling your experience because mine was completely opposite. Like you come from a mixed background and you wanted to, explore the management side, while in my case it was completely opposite. I come from a management side and I wanted to explore the digital aspects of, the technologies today, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, how that is done, and how can I, blend business with technology. So that was my main purpose for joining SIDTM.
Okay, so specialization offered at SIDTM. There are currently three specialization which is being offered at SIDTM: system and finance, marketing and finance, and analytics and finance. So Muskan, you are in systems and finance. So would you like to brief about the same?
Yes, sure, Navneet. So before telling about the systems specialization, I would like to tell that the way for choosing the specializations, there is a test that is conducted before the second semester, which is called the specialization allocation test. So it considers basically two things for allotting the specialization. First is your choice, and second is the marks that you get in the examination. So also there is a misconception that if you choose one specialization, then you are restricted to only that specialization. Now, that is not what happens, at least at SIDTM. So, for example, if I've taken a systems a specialization, that doesn't mean that I'll be entirely studying about systems only henceforth. So it's like only two subjects you study in detail about your specialization, and rest of the subjects are common to everyone. So the common subjects right now that we are studying are managing pre-sales, visual analytics, business intelligence. So this is basically common for all the students, irrespective of their specializations. Now, talking about systems, in systems, I'm studying subjects like cloud computing, IT strategy, ICT ecosystem, digital forensics. So my you know basically my parameter for choosing the system specialization was that I already had a background in the marketing domain. I wanted to, as I mentioned, that I wanted to explore something in the digital side, and also I wanted to acquire new skills. So this is something that I've never studied. So I wanted to study all these subjects. Like cloud is a very interesting subject, and ICT is very interesting right now. So yeah, that was basically about systems. Navneet, since you are from a marketing specialization, I think it would be better if you can tell about it.
Before coming to that, Muskan, I had a very interesting question in the chat box. Chandan Sahani is asking that where is the SIDTM campus located in Pune? Can you take this, Muskan?
Yeah, so Chandan, the SIDTM campus is located in Navle, Pune. So it is located at the hilltop of Symbiosis International University. So you can definitely come and visit the campus. We'll be here to guide you.
Talking about my specialization, that is marketing and finance. I choose marketing because I would like to be responsible for any product. I want to be a product manager in future. And for any company, dealing with product is what I believe. Without selling or marketing a product, the company would not be doing well. So I would like to work towards the growth of the company. The subjects of marketing which are taught here are product management, consumer behavior, market research, brand management, digital marketing, and supply chain management. Also, there is a new specialization which is analytics and finance, which has currently 30 seats. So the subjects which are taught in analytics are Python, are programming, business analytics, data mining, big data, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and social media analysis.
Yes, so basically, I want to emphasize on one point that you all might be able to say that there's something common across all the specializations. So that is finance. So finance is a compulsory minor at SIDTM, which is one of our USPs. So I think the world is becoming aware that it is very important to know how to manage your personal finances. So imagine if, as a future manager, if you're not able to read a balance sheet, so that would impact your efficiency. So as a manager, you're not required to know how to compile a balance sheet, how to do the entries, but you need to know how to read a balance sheet, how to read the financial statements. That's why we are having finance as our compulsory minor specialization. Also, we have a batch which is very diverse. So people here are from very diverse backgrounds, like from engineering, from commerce background, like I did BBA. He is from BCom. Then people are here from hotel management, from biotechnology as well. So one thing that I also was scared before joining SIDTM was that whether I will be able to cope up with the technology side, with the digital side, because things might not be taught from the basics. But that is one thing I was very happy about when I visited the website, and I saw that there are bridge courses. So bridge courses are basically for the people who have not studied those subjects. For example, a person who has an engineering background does not have any knowledge of finance. They don't even know what does a balance sheet mean, what are assets, what are liabilities. So we have bridge courses so that those students can match the level of the finance guys. So they are basically taught very basics of the finances, like what is a balance sheet, like what are the assets, what terms goes into the assets, how to compile a balance sheet is that comes, but at a very later stage. First you are taught the very basics in the bridge classes, and in the actual classes you'll learn how to compile a balance sheet. So that is how it goes. Navneet, also I would like to ask, since like you have a blend of commerce and the technical part, so how are classes going on for you?
So yeah, correct, Muskan. I know a bit of both the backgrounds, technology and commerce. So there is one subject which I didn't have any knowledge of before coming to this college, which was telecom. So the faculty of telecom, which is our deputy director, Giri sir, he took bridge classes from the very scratch, from the very basics of telecom. So that was very interesting, and it made my life very easy for learning telecom. And he teaches so well. It interests so much the 5G, the tower, the mobile phone which connects to one place to another. It is very interesting, and I am learning so much from him.
Right.
So coming to the most interesting part, which are placement. So the summer placement for batch 21-23, the highest stipend was 1,60,000. The average of top 25 was 90,000, and the average of top 50 was 75,000. Please note that our batch consists of 150 students.
Yeah. So now coming to the interim placements for the batch of 2021-23. So I'm very proud to say that the highest package offered was 27.83 LPA. The average for top 50 was 16 LPA. The average for freshers was 11.63 LPA. Average for laterals was 13.37 LPA. So I would like to emphasize on the point that our batch strength is only 150. So you can see the top average is 16 LPA. So yeah. Also, the placement season is currently going on, so statistics will be changing. So you can refer for any placement related statistics, what rules are offered at SIDTM. For this, you can refer to our website, sidtm.edu.in. Also, you can see some of the recruiters which are listed on the screen. So Salesforce, EY, Accenture, Airtel, these are some of the recruiters that came for this year's placements. Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining the session. Wish you all the very best for the remaining 2 attempts. Now we open the floor for question and answers. Feel free to write your queries in the chat box.
Muskan, I got a question from Sakshi. She asked that how can we make our own strategy for the exam? So Sakshi, I would suggest that you have to look on your strength and weaknesses, what section you are comfortable and you are fast in, and which section you take longer time to solve. Based on that, you can strategize at least your time management and do the section that takes more time first. Give your personal example here, and you can do and solve that easily.
Yeah, so we have one more question from Jessica Thomas. So she is asking, do shortcuts help in SNAP for quantitative ability? Definitely. Shortcuts are very relevant for the SNAP exam since it is a time-based exam. I just now showed you that I solved 3 questions, and in one of the questions I used a shortcut which helped me to solve the question in just 10 seconds. Had I not known the shortcut, it would take at least 1 to 1.5 minutes. So that is the relevance of shortcuts in a speed-based exam like SNAP. This would also basically boost your confidence and maximize your score, since you would be saving time here and investing in other area in which you are weak.
So Apurva asked that are the questions related to poems difficult? Apurva, I know that this is the first time that poems came in the SNAP exam, so don't panic. They are not really difficult, but requires more focus because there is a lot of new words in the poem used. So you need to understand the gist of the poem well. You need to know that what the poem is trying to tell you. If you do that, you will be able to solve this question quicker than other RC questions.
Yes. So Shushti is asking, what are the scoring topics in quants? So Shushti, it is very evident that the arithmetic section is very scoring. So it is just formula based. So if you know all the formulas, if you know the shortcuts, then you'll be able to solve the questions, in 30-40 seconds. So also you need to have your calculations very strong. So what I did was I, revised, I learned memorized tables till 30. And I learned all the squares, cubes, the fractions like what is 1 by 3, 33%, then what is 1 by 12, 8.33%. So all this I memorized. At that time, this really helps during the exam. It saves time. And yeah, helps to score more in quants.
Again, Chandan has another question. He is asking that how is campus life of SIDTM? So we are staying in the beautiful hilltop campus of Lovely Hills, Chandan. It has all the amenities like swimming pool, basketball court, a big football and cricket field. We all have sports activities like badminton, table tennis, squash, etc. And we have a world-class academic blocks. We have Wi-Fi's, LAN connections, and all the basic amenities. We have a big mess, which is of 2 floors. So campus life as SIDTM is really, really great.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's like every morning you wake up and you feel that fresh breeze on your face. You look out the window and you're surrounded by clouds. So it's a very, nice way to start the morning. So campus life at SIDTM is very amazing. So next question, I can see it's from Shashwat. He's asking, what are the opportunities in systems specialization at SIDTM? Shashwat, in systems specialization is for the new age technology managers who would be responsible for the business processes, for product development, product management, project management, etc. So the students are offered various industry relevant certifications and training on cybersecurity, DevOps, internal audit, AWS, cloud, etc. So I see one more question from Nisha Goyal. She's asking, how much marks do we score for SIDTM? Nisha, there is no fixed marks or percentile for SIDTM as it is in the hands of SIU. So it keeps on changing based on different aspects. Like this year, the pattern change, so the cutoff might change. So it completely depends. I would suggest don't go by the cutoff of the previous years. Try to maximize your score. It will definitely help you because the scores add up and for the GDPI as well and for your SNAP paper, and that is the parameter for your final selection. So definitely try to score maximum.
Shivam asked that how to use elimination technique in logical reasoning. So Shivam, I would suggest you that you can start by eliminating the most irrelevant answer first. Then start picking each option one by one and analyze the logic behind each options. Hence, coming back to the same tip, practice is the key. The more similar types of problems you practice, the more will be your accuracy. While asserting the correct option, this will also help you in speedy elimination. So this would be tip. This would be the tip from my side.
There's one question from Zeal. He's asking, is 2 years of gap a hurdle while converting SIDTM? No, Zeal, it's not a hurdle. So a gap does not really matter if you have a good, explanation towards it. So the selection process at SIDTM looks at 50% of your SNAP weightage and 50% of your GDPI watt. So I would like to tell you that I also have a 1 year gap. It did not at all, affect my selection at SIDTM. So you don't need to worry about that. Just focus on your SNAP, try to maximize your score, and you'll be good to go.
Vishwajit asked that where can I get good marks? Also, which section should I start to boost my score? Vishwajit, it totally depends on you. I would suggest you would start with the section you can finish the fastest. In my time, what I did was I would start by verbal ability, then logical reasoning, then quantitative ability. So give snap you would do your fastest. And talking about the mocks, there is a link mentioned in the description. You can get the best link there.
Yes, so I think there's a question from Prakshar Gupta. He's asking, how can I make my second snap attempt better? Yeah, so Prakshar, so there's not, the second attempt is right after 1 day. So the thing that we can do at this time is to analyze our first attempt if you have given one, or to analyze the mocks that you have attempted till now. So I'd identify what are your strong areas, what are your weak areas. Try it, try to basically start your paper with your strengths and then come down to the weaknesses. That is a strategy that worked for me. Also, make sure that you revise all the formulas carefully before the exam. It will really help you a lot.
Nisha Goel asked, ma'am, how much marks should be required? I think this question is answered. Okay. Srishti asked, what are the job roles offered at SIDTM? So Srishti, we have done a video with Patrick sir. You can watch it on the YouTube.
Yes. So there's one another question from Shushti. Can you also conduct this type of session for GDPI what? So Shushti, we have our flagship event, which is the aspirants relation event, which is called SimConnect. So you can register for that event in the description. The link is given in the description. So the event is conducted basically across 5 cities. So you can definitely join and meet us there. We'll be guiding you throughout.
There is another question from Chandan. He is asking that what type of events are conducted in SIDTM. So in SIDTM, there are various events held throughout the event. Recently, we had ITS International Telecom Seminar, Bapa Moria. Currently, we are planning to do a Christmas event. We also had a inter-institute cricket competition in which all the Symbiosis campuses from various locations like Noida, Hyderabad, Bangalore came to the main campus, Lovely Hills, and we had inter-institute cricket match. So SIDTM and the college life in Symbiosis is very much amazing, and you would definitely love.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining the session. I hope this will help you for the further two attempts. Try to keep yourself calm and composed, and as I told you that do not go with any preconceived notions. Go with an open mind, take good rest, and reach the center on time. You will be good to go.
All the best, guys. Do your best shot. Thank you.